Yeah.
Don't play with my emotions like that.
All right. So, gentlemen, we are now live with the Multiverse Show episode 123. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for tuning into the greatest show on Mondays. And we are here for part 2 of our crossover episode with Next Level Gaming. For those of you that did not catch it, we were over on Next Level Gaming last Friday. Late at 10 o'clock. Ultra late.
9:40 is when we started.
No.
Yes.
Anyway, it was late for multiverse people.
It's Friday. Come on.
We do. Anyway, so gentlemen,
they call us old.
All right, so we gotta do some introductions for on the show. First up, we got our multiverse panel here as always. Gentlemen, Caesar of Cinema himself, the Baron of Britain, Mr. James Wilson.
I am quite tired. I am a little bit angry at the state of London transport, but I am here despite all of this. Sorry for the delay. That is entirely my fault. But let's get the show on the road. Michael and I have unfinished business that we will get to later on in the card.
Mm-hmm. All right, and next up we have the Gaming Gambino, the Don Deletion, Mr. Mike P. Truth.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining us for another wonderful episode of the Multiverse Show. As always, we have some great topics planned for you guys tonight, so let's get it started.
And we have the White Wolf himself, the Paladin of the Piedmont, Mr. Samuel Tolbert.
Hey, everybody. I'm glad you were all here. Let's get this second parter on the road, shall we?
All right, and we have our guest for the evening. We have Mr. Fastback from Next Level Gaming, formerly known as WGFC, or now the merger is complete, or as Mike Mullis's plan is finally coming into motion.
WGFC, sir, it is WDFC. Who the F cares?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was who gives
Who gives up?
Well, wait a minute. That doesn't even... You see the letters.
I don't see letters.
Oh
I'm letter blind.
Hey, what's going on?
Wow.
Glad to be on here for the first time.
All right, Fastback, how you doing, sir?
You gave me an invite. I just had to join NLG show for you to finally get me on here. So, hey, it's all good.
Wait, this is the first time?
Yeah.
I swear we've done this before.
That was on the WDFC, not the WDFC.
Oh, yeah. I might be blending realities together.
That's why it's called Multiverse.
Yeah. And we have the geezer of gaming himself, Mr. Mike Mullis.
Oh, this is not where you want to go right now. I believe one of your panelists fell asleep at 9:45.
Man,
So
I'm
just saying.
every day last week. I got a legitimate excuse.
I'm just saying. Some of us can handle being up till midnight, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. You know.
I mean, I will stand testament that I am pretty good at that, but even I falter sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, you're also the young buck of the crew here.
So what's up? What's up, guys? It's good to be back on the multiverse.
All right, so we got a couple things rolling out. Just getting the live stuff out, getting the live tweets out there, getting some people rolling on in here. I see we have Chief Tommy in the chat already ready and rolling, kicking up lots of dust. So let's do our immortal question as we ask every single week. What have you guys been playing? And altering the question for Mr. James Wilson, what have you been seeing, sir?
I have not seen anything. There's no new films are coming out other than I rewatched Captain Marvel, and I think it's a little bit not as good as I thought it was the first time, but I still thoroughly enjoyed it. Quick shout out to some television that came out. It's been getting a bunch of buzz everywhere. Love, Death, and Robots, which it's a new Netflix thing. It's a bunch of sort of short films, all animated, all on the subject of love or death or robots, sometimes more than one, sometimes all of them, sometimes just one. All of them are very, very unique and different, using different animation styles. I think some are even a combination of live action and animation. They're all really interesting. If you're into Black Mirror, which I'm sure we're going to be talking about later, thank you, Michael. Or like, I don't want to call it the Twilight Zone. It's like the Twilight Zone in the sense that every episode is completely different. I just recommend all of them. They're all about between 11 and 20 minutes long, so they're very easily digestible. I'd start off with the episode 3 robots. I'm not going to say anything about it. All good stuff. NSFW, just in case. Some stuff is pretty hardcore, but that's what you get for Netflix originals nowadays. So yes, that's what I have been watching. But I am just counting the days until Us at this point.
Oh man,
which comes out this Friday.
Dude, I can't wait to see Us. Those of you who don't know what we're talking about or want to be specified which Us we're referring to, this is Jordan Peele's next movie, which he's been. What was it? It's been 2 years since Get Out, so it's about time. Been 3?
It's been 3.
Oh no, 2017.
2017. Yeah, it's been 2 years.
Yeah,
Okay, I've been right. I was right. Okay, yeah, we're good. Making sure. I've been really looking forward to this one. This has got Winston Duke. Who doesn't know who Winston Duke is? That's M'Baku from Black Panther. Be kicking
and Lupita Nyong'o.
Yep. And
also
dude,
Black Panther.
Yep. And I'm really excited for that movie. I want to see it. I take my girlfriend to go see it. Not this week, next week. I don't remember. I don't know what time we're gonna go. We're gonna go sometime. It'll be okay. So anyway, moving on right along. Mr. Sam Matova, what have you been playing, sir?
So I've been playing some Apex Legends. I've been having a lot of fun with that and getting some wins in. I have also been playing some Overwatch, as you know. I've been in there with you a good few times. We've had some good times, some bad times in there, but, Overwatch is always fun. And then beyond that, I have continued to play Devil May Cry 5. I'm continuing to have an absolute blast with that, and I'm trying to get a lot out of it until Sekiro comes out in just a few days.
Yeah, man, this is gonna be good, and I am looking forward to this. It's gonna be.
I really am too. It's exciting. It's really exciting.
Yeah. So, all right, Mike, what you been playing, sir?
So, a little bit of Battlefield 5, a little bit of Apex Legends, a little bit of Smash Brothers, and also Division 2, which I'm sure we're going to talk about. So
we'll come back to that. So, all right, and on to our grouping here. Mike number 47, Mr. Battle Royale of Mikes. We need to know, what have you been playing, sir?
I'm not going to answer that. I'm not going to answer the slander of my age.
No, he's trying to connect you with the Hitman. Your number 4.
I literally just picked an
Agent 47.
I had no idea.
47.
Better watch out.
Yeah. So I have been stuck.
So it could have been Mike 76. Could have been that.
Have to get your Todd Howard crap in there, didn't you?
Didn't you mean Soldier 76?
Oh, either way, it could have been taken either way.
That
was the intent. That was the intent.
That was the intent, I am sure. All right, so I have been pretty much stuck on trying to finish Crackdown 3. Between orb hunting and now I'm going back and forth between that and going after the bosses to get to that final one so that Fastback and I can stream the finale together. That's really honestly all I've been playing because it's a big giant game and it's just been taking a while to get finished.
Sure is.
So
yeah, I was gonna say it doesn't take that long to beat Crackdown 3. If you're going for the 100%, yeah.
Well, I'm not going necessarily. I don't know if I'm going for 100% because I'm not. I'll tell you what I am doing. I've got 49 out of 50 stunt wheels. I've got over 500 orbs. It's the agility orbs I'm really after. The hidden orbs, they're nice, but I don't really care about them as much, although I've got over half of those. But the agility orbs is kind of my obsession. So, and there's an achievement that I've got to figure out how to make work where I can drive my car up a building 3,000 feet in the air. That's trying that one too. So
that is going to be interesting.
This game is crazy. So I'm actually on the last lieutenant boss, which is for me, depending on how people played it, who did play it, I'm on whatever this guy's name is, the security dude, and then I'm
the guy with the missiles.
Yeah, not Vargas, but the other guy.
Yeah, the other guy. Yeah.
So once I take him out, then I'm gonna go take on what's her name,
Okay.
Leland or whatever. So that's been what I've been trying to do. I'm in the middle of downloading Division 2 now, so that I can start playing it this week. But I was hoping to be able to try to get some of it in before the show. But those of us with hamster internet out here in the East Coast, still waiting.
All right. So, Fast, what you been playing, sir?
Like Mike, I've played some Crackdown 3 off and on, and I'm at the final boss. So that's why me and Mike are gonna stream the last 2 final fights. And then of course I've been playing Anthem. That's why I haven't completed Crackdown 3, because I've been, I jumped on Anthem and I finished the main story Sunday. I'm at level 23, so I want to get to level 30. So I'm just hooked on it. I had Division 2. I started the first part, get yourself to the White House, and then I jumped back on Anthem because I'm just hooked. I'm hooked on Anthem. So, and I enjoyed the story and the characters myself. So there's still a lot more to go for me. And then as far as y'all were talking about movies, I did go see Captain Marvel. Enjoyed it. And before that, I saw How to Train a Dragon.
It's lovely, isn't it?
Yes, great.
Oh,
yeah,
so good.
beautiful.
It's adorable.
And then as far as on Hulu, I just finished watching the first season of the First, which is a series about getting to Mars. So that's a pretty interesting. It's kind of like not NASA, but let's say SpaceX. Were the startup adventure to get up to Mars. So it was an interesting one.
That's cool. That's cool, man. All right. So actually, I want to kind of get into this part. So apparently, Mike P has finally started watching Black Mirror, which, for those of you that don't know, one of our favorite shows on Multiverse show is Black Mirror. You hear everybody rave about it. We love talking about it. But Mike finally listened and started watching episodes.
I was the first person who stopped the show midway to talk about it.
Yes, that is true. But it is by default one of our favorite shows. And Mike has finally started watching it. Mike, all right, tell us about your experience. Which episodes did you see, or what's the deal?
Okay, so my first actual exposure to Black Mirror was Bandersnatch, which I really, really enjoyed. Watched through that a couple times. Mm-hmm. So we watched 3 episodes over the weekend. I don't remember the titles. We watched the first episode, which was the one where they had the memory device that was implanted in them.
One called The Grain?
No, the very first episode.
That's not the first episode.
So what episode did I watch? It was
the first episode is the one with the Prime Minister and the pig.
Okay, so that might have been the most recent episode then. I watched that one. I watched. I'm trying to think of how I could describe it without spoiling it for people that didn't see it. I saw the episode where the woman is being hunted and all of the onlookers are like, yeah, White Bear. That was it. That was it. I saw White Bear. Really enjoyed that one. But the one that really got me was Playtest. Playtest was crazy. I loved that episode. That was one, no joke. And I'm somebody that's hardcore. Sopranos is the best TV show ever made. That was one of the best hours of television I've ever watched. It was fantastic. The BioShock reference was oh my God. We were talking about it before we went live. We were sitting in the chair and we were sitting on the couch. And then when she goes, "Would you kindly open the door?" I jumped out of the couch oh my God. And my wife is like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
But it was crazy. I absolutely love it.
The backstory to that episode, and sort of just Black Mirror in general. So it's created by a guy called Charlie Brooker, who in the rest of the world is the Black Mirror guy. In Britain, he's like this quite serious journalist and political satirist. He has his own TV show, which like he destroys the news on every single front here in Britain, America, or the rest of the world. But he started as a video games journalist. That was his big break, and like doing serious analysis into video games as art, and like is a major component as to the video game renaissance, especially in Britain, with developers like Ninja Theory and Media Molecule. They wouldn't exist without the awareness that he raised for video games. So he's a very, very important figure culturally here. And he created the show called Dead Set, which you guys know Big Brother? The
Yes.
TV show Big Brother?
My wife is.
I've heard of it. I don't know anything about
never
it,
watched
honestly.
it.
Yeah, it's like the first big reality TV show. They got a bunch of normal people, put them in a house, locked the doors for a couple months, and then the general public voted each person out. Very, very influential TV program. And he sort of theorized, what would happen if the zombie apocalypse broke out and the only people who didn't know about it were the people inside that Big Brother house? And so that was his first like drama that he wrote, which went out on Channel 4 in the UK. Then he was given license to make 3 episodes of Black Mirror, the first 3, and it got a cult following and never really developed. The second season came around, got much more attention, and then Netflix bought it, and it got a worldwide distribution. So season 3 onwards, that's why everything's American after that. But Black Mirror is just, it's so annoyingly representative of us as a society right now,
Yep.
and just ahead of us. It's unbelievable. It makes me want to tear my hair out every time I watch it. It's so good.
I know one of my favorite episodes was the one where it was the game studio. Y'all remember that one? Have y'all got to that one?
That's what we're talking
That's
about.
is that the-
playtest. Yep.
Which one was that one called? I'm sorry, because it's been a while since I. Okay.
Playtest.
Yeah, playtest. Okay, yeah, that's one of
Yeah.
my favorite ones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can only imagine that the new Twilight Zone, because this is sort of touted as the modern Twilight Zone, but and that's not like it's a comparison thing for quality as well as similarities. So Mike, what is the best episode that you've seen so far?
Out of the 3, playtest was the best
Okay.
one that I've seen.
Are you gonna be watching all of them?
Yes, I will be watching all of them. Totally, 100%.
Better be
You-
watching all of them.
I'm warning you about the episode White Christmas, okay?
Oh,
Like,
geez. That episode is brutal.
It is. It's like I don't believe in this phrase, but I genuinely mean it. It's a trigger warning, that episode, for
Yeah.
so many reasons.
That episode left me feeling emotionally numb, like someone had just been punching me in the face over and over. You have been warned going into that one. You have seriously been warned.
Yeah. All right. So moving right along, moving on to our first topic for the evening, we're going to be talking about Division 2. So Division 2 came out last Friday officially for all of us non-premium experience users. So we all got to start playing it on a Friday, and let's just kind of get impressions here. Fast, I know you've been playing Division 2. I know you talked about it a little bit, but give us a little more.
I played a little bit. Played some especially on the beta with the Super Cooper. Definitely, it's a much better game than Division 1. It's very fluid, a little bit faster pace, I think. Just the reaction from the mechanics. But so far, I mean, to me, it looks good. It looks great. Definitely will be jumping on this with the Coop and some of the fellows, online gamers that I play with. So once I get into it, then we'll see. Other than that, I can't really say much more about it.
Okay. Stinger, did you get a chance to play Division 2 yet?
I'm downloading it as we speak.
Oh, okay.
How's that experience going?
Yeah, I'm trying to get it. I was hoping to have it done. I was hoping to have it downloaded by now, but it's still It's still downloading, about 40% in.
All right, gotcha. So
I did play the beta though, for what it's worth, if that means anything. Actually, it's 64% done, so I might actually get some in while we're talking. But yeah, I played the beta, and I thought the beta was really well done. If a lot of the gameplay mechanics are still there, one of the things that I really liked that they hopefully kept in the full game, you guys can let me know if they did. When you're in cover, I like that it gives you the line items, the line actions to go from cover to cover, so you can actually see where your cover is going to be if you go in a specific spot. And I thought that was a really nice new small thing. Nothing. It's not a major gameplay mechanic change, but just a little enhancement that it helps you when you're trying to go in and out of cover. Because the first game, while going in and out of cover was great, as from the main standpoint, sometimes you could get very confused as to your character can end up, say, on a barrier this way and then end up on a barrier this way that you didn't want to go to, and you're getting fired upon because you're not actually, nothing's covering you. So I like that you can see where your cover is going to be.
Mm-hmm. All right, cool. That's good. Yeah, for me, I mean, it is in the game. I'm gonna let Mike P rant in a minute. But I have not actually had a lot of time to play Division 2, not because of lack of trying. So I've been having a lot of weird internet stuff going on, and it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, just various games have had issues for whatever reason. But they all take turns for some reason, and they don't make any sense. Like, Anthem, no problems. Anthem, easy. Jump in, jump out, easy. When I would play... Fallout 76 didn't have any issues until, like, the last few weeks.
Sorry,
where
what?
I wasn't able to play.
I'm sorry, did you say Fallout 76 didn't have any issues?
Not for me, no. I didn't have any... No, I'm talking about, connection internet problems.
Oh, okay.
Not talking about bugs. But like I couldn't connect to play for several weeks, and it was extremely annoying. The Wild Appalachia update fixed this problem, so I'm back on it, so we're good. But Division 2 I'm having problems with, but it's been very interesting. I've never had problems like this before. So everybody's experienced lag before, right? Everyone's played a game where it's laggy. Normally, if you're lagging or someone else is lagging, you watch characters like skip across the screen, like they'll stop and then they'll teleport ahead to where they are now, or something like that. You know how it is, guys. It's lag. Division 2, I've never seen it like this before.
I mean, it's lagging so much that he's lagging.
Right.
Right. They caught up with him. He was about to expose. He talked with me about this before we went live, guys. We talked about this a couple of hours ago, and he was actually going to reveal something so horrible that Ubisoft's assassins have caught up with him. He's fighting for his life.
You told him not to do it, right?
I told him not to, but here we go.
All right, so here's what happens.
He just fought off some.
While I'm playing, I was doing the first part there where we were talking with doing like the White House. I was doing that mission, and so we okay? Can you hear me? Okay?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, you're good.
Give me a second.
Good.
All that's happening right now is that he's muted himself.
There we go.
There's a Jason Bourne style fight happening.
Man, Ubisoft's always got to silence a little guy.
The little guy? Have they?
Yeah, the little guy.
Have they ever met?
They don't know. They can't see me. They can't see me. I'm John Cena.
Oh my god.
Sorry, I
anyway,
it up.
So what I was saying was that with Ubisoft, I've never seen a game handle lag like this. So when I was playing the White House mission, I would pull out a pistol, and sometimes the pistol would be like no, you're not allowed to shoot. You have a full clip, but I'm not going to let you shoot. And so I'd be like, okay, odd. Are these friendlies maybe? No, they're enemies. They're shooting at me. Nope, that's not real. So over to a little while, I'm like, okay. And so eventually I can start shooting my gun, so I start shooting at them. But like, I know I'm getting headshots or I know I'm getting body shots on them and nothing's happening. And then maybe 15 seconds later, I watch the guy I just shot just fall over, or like he'll start taking damage all of a sudden and no one's shooting at him. He just dies. So I'm like, okay, odd. So I complete that mission, and so over time, like I want to go play with Rage Virus X and Gamble, and they can verify this actually happened. While I'm playing the game, I'm asking Rage and them like, "What are you guys doing? Like, where are we?" And so they're like, "Oh yeah, we're fighting in the atrium." I'm like, "No, we're not. Like, we're in the garage." Like, I'm watching Gamble reload.
You're in the garage.
And so, but I'm watching them as if this is live with no stuttering or anything else. I'm just a solid 2 minutes behind them. I'm in the past watching them play as if it were real. And if I were not in a party with them, I wouldn't know that we weren't playing together live. I would have no clue.
I've never heard of anything like that.
That's insane.
I recorded it too.
Making it up.
Like I could shoot anybody. They would not take any damage, because they weren't actually there in the time I'm shooting them. And so, like I would go down, or no, in their timeline I would go down because I'd be taking damage. But in my timeline, I'm still up, ready to go. Nothing's going on. And I'm like,
this episode,
okay.
This episode of the Multiverse Show brought to you by Dan Harmon, apparently.
Yeah, just it was crazy. I couldn't believe it. It was the most insane way of handling lag I've ever seen. It was basically they paused the action and made me play from the past. It was bizarre. I had never seen a game handle lag like that. Like, I would much rather them just skip ahead to where the action is than just make me watch like what already happened. So, and I can't do anything to stop it. So yeah, it was very interesting.
That's the unreleased sequel to Quantum Break.
You're playing in the past. You can't change the future.
Oh, that's
no,
funny.
but when the thing was, when the game was working for me, it's brilliant. It's fun. Like, it just, the action is frenetic. It evolves very well. Fights are fun. It's good. I really enjoy it, but I have to have it work first. But I don't judge it necessarily yet because it's still fairly new and it's just opening weekend, and so they need time. So I'll give them some time to get that fixed before anything happens. But anyway, that's my impression. So, but I have heard Mike P did not have an enjoyable experience. So I'm going to turn this over to Mike. Let us know, sir. What's your beef with The Division, sir?
So I'm going to give my impressions, and then I'm going to pose a question to the panel. There's something I need to know. But my impressions of the game first. Like, it pisses me off because I really want to like this game because it's not all bad. Some of the things I do like about the game, I think the loot system is great. I think the exploration is great, how you're just able to roam around Washington, D.C. and explore these alleyways and inside certain buildings and open cases to find loot. I think that's really well done. Visually, obviously, the game is beautiful on Xbox One X, solid 30 frames per second. The gunplay feels good. The enemy AI, they flank you pretty aggressively, which I don't have a problem with because it forces you to move in and out of cover and reposition yourself. But that's kind of where my problems with it start. Now, maybe part of this is because I was been playing it solo up until level 4. I know it's not really a solo game, but, you know, your character's really, really squishy. Like, you have to reposition yourself a lot, which, like I said, it's good because it prevents you from hiding behind, like, the same dumpster for the whole engagement. But as soon as you come out of cover, I feel like the enemies have perfect aim, like absolutely perfect, and you get shredded in like seconds, I feel like. when you move out of cover. You know, that's basically my major complaint. Some of the other things that I don't like, I don't think the enemy variety is there. Like, there's enemies that'll shoot you from afar. There's enemies that rush at you with shotguns, and there's enemies that rush at you with melee weapons, and that's about it so far. Every once in a while, you'll run into somebody with a yellow health bar, and it's like, oh, that's the boss. And every once in a while, there'll be somebody with a purple health bar, and it's like, oh, well, if the yellow's the boss, the purple's like the middle management person. But I'm not really a fan of the enemy variety. The gunplay, like I said, the gunplay is good, but I feel like your guns have a lot of recoil, whereas the enemies have perfect aim. And the other thing that I don't like about the game, I feel like some of the abilities are bugged. So you have a vision pulse ability where it's supposed to detect and highlight where the enemies are around you. I feel like visually, the radius for that move, it looks like it pulses out really far, but I feel like it only highlights enemies that are no more than like 5 or 10 meters away from you. So I think that might be bugged, and they need to patch that. And I feel like the drone doesn't really do anything. You call in the drone, and it like hovers over you. It doesn't target anybody. It doesn't shoot at anybody that I've noticed. So that might be bugged too. You know, but I don't feel like, I feel like I might be playing the game wrong. Like, I'm dead serious. Am I playing the game wrong? Because I'm really not enjoying it right now. For all of the flaws that Anthem has, as far as like its end game and its level scaling and things like that, at least Anthem is fun. I am not having fun with this game. Is there something wrong with me? Am I playing this game wrong?
Sounds like there's something wrong with you. No, I'm kidding. Maybe you just haven't played it long enough. Have you played it with others?
I've only played it solo. Yeah. And you know, I'm trying to stick with it because I'm a big fan of PvP. So I'm trying to stick with it at least until the PvP opens up so I could try that. But it's like, and I feel like, oh, and some of the extra stuff that you could do, like hostage rescues and things like that, they'll put you in a situation where you got to rescue, say, 2 hostages, but there's like 10 or 15 enemies around. Now, the hostages are going to die if you're playing solo before you have a chance to kill all them. You can't just rush in guns blazing because you're going to get gunned down within about 2 seconds.
Well, not with that attitude.
So, I mean, it's like, I don't know. I'm just not, and it pisses me off because there's things about the game that are good. The exploration is good. The gunplay is good. I want to like this game, but something about the single player, at least playing solo, it's like, I just can't. It's not fun for me. It just isn't at this point. Maybe I need to stick with it and unlock more abilities or whatever. But at this point in the game right now, I'm not having fun with it.
Mike, you're highlighting every reason why I didn't want to play this game. Like, it looked so boring to me, and this just reaffirming. Yeah.
I don't know. I think Mike's defective.
Mike, did you stick with the Division 1 after they kept doing updates and all that?
I think I didn't stick with it too long. I think maybe I put about 10 hours in Division 1. I was really deep into Destiny at that point. Like, I was playing a lot of Destiny Crucible at that point, so I didn't really spend too much time with it.
Yeah.
I know between Division 1, I kept going back to it because Coop was playing it and Natty Red Gals. So we and Witty, and you know, we would just go back to it every time they did a, you know, update, added stuff to it, and I enjoyed playing Division when I'm playing with others more so. And like you're saying, like Anthem, I enjoy playing that myself. You know, well, I'm more of a sci-fi gamer, anyways. You know, especially when it's open world. So that could be your case too. I mean, and
you actually bring up a good point because it's weird. You're coming from a looter shooter type of game like Anthem, right?
Yeah.
Where you feel indestructible, you feel like a badass, and then you go to a game like The Division, and it's like your character's all squishy. He can't be out in the open for more than like 5 seconds before he gets torn down. And it's like, I don't know. I think there's certain aspects of the game that might be bugged, like the super accuracy on the enemies or whatever, that they might need to patch out. But
I know they were talking about like there's been problems with skills, but I don't know any specifics. I haven't looked at any patch notes to be able to verify. So I really don't know. So anything else about Division before we kind of move on from here?
Well, let me ask this. Is this, is the second game like the first one where if you are too far ahead of folks that want to play with you, you basically, if you're the guy who's coming in playing with the level 30 guy, you're pretty much nerfed because you can't do anything. That was one of my biggest issues with the first division.
I can neither confirm nor deny that's an actual possibility, namely because, I can't kill anybody. So, I don't know. So, my understanding is it's not great, but, there's still a difference. It definitely makes you feel there's a level difference. I know that much.
That was one of my biggest issues with the first division was, if I got a late start on it, and I was playing with guys like Coop who really were already on level 15, level 20. So I jump in and I'm like level 7, and I was absolutely useless. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't shoot anybody. I was dead in literally one hit from any gun, from anybody. Everybody had the the skull over top of them. I was basically, it was, stand behind, come with me if you want to live, is basically what that game was for me.
You were playing real life mode.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah, the other thing about Division 2 also that kind of makes me scratch my head is they said that all the year one content would be free, but there's a year one pass for $40, so you could get that same content a couple days early. That just kind of feels slimy to me when you got games like Battlefield free, Anthem, where those games are giving you the post-launch content at no charge. To have a $40 pass to get the same content a few days early just feels slimy to me.
Mm-hmm. Ubisoft doing dubious things with money? No, never.
Well, and
I will say I was very confused by this pass, by the way. Because I saw them advertise for it. I'm like, okay, so is this not free? But it's like, okay.
Well, they lured you in by offering you the chance to play the game a week earlier.
Yeah. But would I rather have this model or DLC isn't free at all? I don't know. I feel like this is better than Destiny, at least their model. I don't know. I'd rather I can wait a week. I'm patient. I'm good.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. It's not really saying much because Destiny's model, especially the original one, was awful.
Yeah. We're going to charge you. Here's an expansion pass. Oh, yeah, a year later, here's another, buy the game again for us. I was like, Jesus.
It's like Destiny 1, you were penalized if you bought the game at launch. Basically.
You were penalized if you bought the game at all.
Right, that's true, too. But
Well, let the Iron Lords hear you say that.
Oh, I'll say it to their face. I've said it to their face.
I am proud to say I never played it. Proud to say I never bought it.
Yeah.
Can't be bothered. Me neither.
I enjoyed Destiny, but once I got to that level, the high level, is like I was done. I didn't feel like there was anything more to do. Unless you're into PvP, or the raid.
Yeah. Anyway. I don't know. I'll once Division kind of settles down, I'll get into it and see what the deal is. That's kind of where I'm at on it. Sam, you've been quiet. What's your thoughts? What would make you jump into Division?
An interesting plot. That's my biggest issue with so many of these. Is I want a reason to care. There's so many different games, and it's not a very unique setting. So it's like, okay, I'm getting more powerful guns. I'm getting better gear. Why do I care about this? As much as it didn't work out, at least the first division actually had a semi-unique premise, so to speak, of like a virus absolutely devastating New York. It's like, okay, I can work with that. It wasn't good in the end, but it got me to play the beta. It got me to check things out. This, it's just, I see it's like, okay, another quasi-realistic military shooter. Congrats.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just not for me.
All right, fair enough, fair enough. But you know what is for you? Fallout 76.
That is true. I am
only because you bought it for him. You need to buy him Division.
Man, put your money where your mouth is, fast. If it's so good, why don't you buy it for him?
Start that Patreon.
Oh no.
Yeah,
no. For $1, it'll only make the game $58.99.
All right, so I also talk about Fallout 76 for just a second. So Wild Appalachia finally came out. Man, you know we're the official podcast of Todd Howard. I can't let this go. Bill's got to be paid, sir. Like, I gotta do what I gotta do. So Wild Appalachia
internet service.
For the one person who listens to Multiverse that actually also plays Fallout 76.
So Fallout 76 Wild Appalachia update is now live. It is rolling out piece by piece, part by part. They have the first Nukashine mission that came out, which is hilarious. I was rolling. I woke up early on Sunday morning and I just started the mission, and it is so funny. It's like Animal House, Revenge of the Nerds. Like it's really, really funny. I definitely suggest playing it. It's not like a high level mission. It doesn't take very long, but it's maybe like an hour, maybe 2 hours to complete it if you don't have anything. It's really funny though, and it's really really well put, at least in terms of storytelling. It develops very well, which is kind of difficult for these kinds of games. Like when there's not a lot of NPCs giving out quests. This is this kind of quest where you find out about it from like a third-hand source, and you go from there. So it's well worth your time and really, really funny. But anyway, it definitely is a blast to play. The next thing that's going to be coming out, we got survival mode coming out next. There's a couple other things that'll be rolling out.
Wait, sorry, did you just say Fallout survival mode?
Yeah, there's a survival mode coming.
It's a survival game.
No. It's more hardcore survival mode.
More survival.
Why?
Survive even more.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Is this Fallout 2 Fallouter?
No. But the survival mode. The difference for the survival mode in this one is my understanding is that
Ivan, I don't care.
But I do. That's all that matters, James. But I do.
This is why James ran over here real quick to get on the podcast for this.
I'm still laughing at the fact that his head popped off the pillow Sunday morning like it was Christmas. I gotta play. Oh my God, I gotta wake up. Did you have an alarm set so that you could play this game?
No. I just woke up and it was like 7:30 in the morning. I was like,
did Santa Howard leave me?
No, he wakes up. The room is painted like an old-fashioned Disney movie. There is a slow, steady stream of air. It's the smell of a pie. What's in the pie? It's the apocalypse. It's his favorite scent. And then he starts singing Fallout, the musical, written by Ivan Seiler.
And here's a great episode of The Twilight Zone for you.
No. Episode of The Twilight Zone.
Golden haze on the meadow. It's on fire because it's the end of the world.
No, episode of The Twilight Zone. And it's like, imagine Rod Serling narrating. It's like, behold a man and in front of him lasts the apocalypse. To most, this would be the end of the world. But to Ivan, it is only the beginning. In the Twilight Zone.
That was a good impression.
That was
really
pretty
good.
good.
That was really good.
That
Actually.
was
Not
good,
bad.
actually. Yeah,
Not bad at all.
not bad.
Nah, it's everyone's like you're watching people
Don't
dying,
pretend that you
screaming.
Don't pretend that you deserve the Twilight Zone. You barely get the scary door.
Whoa.
I think I know more about Twilight Zone than you do, James.
No, I meant. No, I'm not. That is not what I'm claiming. I'm claiming that you deserve the Twilight Zone treatment.
Oh yeah, it could be fun. So anyway, so we could have it'd be really fun. I want to play Fallout 76 more. I might do that afterwards. So, all right. So moving on.
If
to
it
some
makes you feel
entertainment-
good, though, since Fallout 4 is now in Game Pass, I'm gonna fire that up at one point in my life.
Do it. Do it. Like I literally spent hours creating different builds for that game. Of like, how do you want to play? I have the perfect build for you. Let me hook you up. Like I spent way too much time on Fallout 4.
Yes, we know.
So, moving on, next little bit. So, those of you who don't know, actually at the end of February they added all the James Bond movies to Netflix, and so it's kind of popped up in the popular culture again for James Bond stuff. So I kind of briefly want to talk about it. So I had seen like most of the Sean Connery movies, and I think was it Tomorrow Never Dies or whatever it is with Pierce Brosnan, the last Pierce Brosnan one.
Yeah,
that's not the last Pierce Brosnan one. It's the second of like 5.
What's the last one?
Brosnan was it? Oh,
that's what it is. That's what it is. Die Another Day. It was the last one. Is that
the one with
had
Halle
Halle Berry in it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Unfortunately, Pierce was so forgettable as Bond. I couldn't remember how many movies he made with it.
Yeah. So Bond. So it's coming back into the popular culture again. And also the whole thing about next year we have the 25th James Bond movie that will be coming out.
Maybe
25th of it's pretty much confirmed. It's the last Daniel Craig movie.
It's more like 2021.
And we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
They only hired the director for it like 2 months ago.
And it could be okay. Who knows? We could have some faith. Have a little faith.
They can't make a Bond film in a year. It can't be done.
Yeah. Anyway, so the reason why this is coming back up again because now they're talking about who's going to be the new Bonds. This is Daniel Craig's last one, and so for me, I was like, okay, I had never seen like a Roger Moore Bond. I had never seen Timothy Dalton. Like for me, I had only seen Casino Royale, the last Pierce Brosnan one, and then like Goldfinger, Dr. No, and Diamonds Are Forever, I think.
Oh, what a good one.
I know there's a Sean Connery one, but I don't remember what the name of it is. It might be Diamonds Are Forever. It's like one where they go to Japan or something, and like there's a jetpack.
You only live twice.
Yeah, you
live twice. Okay, yes, that was what it was. So I had seen that. I had not seen Diamonds Are Forever then. But
I as you can hear from my accent, I'm English. Of course, I've seen all the James Bond films.
Yeah. Well, so now I'm trying to watch through them. I'm trying to like say, okay, what are who's my favorite Bond? Like, it's so far in this most recent stint, I rewatched Goldfinger. I've watched Man with the Golden Gun, which, by the way, Man with the Golden Gun is the most bizarre plot. If you
but it was decent.
My girlfriend asked me about this too. She's like, "So what's this one about?" I said, "Well, Saruman has 3 nipples and doesn't like James Bond, but he likes James Bond too. So James Bond doesn't like the fact that Saruman has 3 nipples, and so he pretends to be Saruman with 3 nipples because he's jealous of his 3 nipples. And then they go to Shanghai, they do some stuff, and then Saruman invites James Bond to look at his house, talk to him about renewable solar energy, basically treat him like a king, and then they try to kill each other.
Yeah, there's some weird Bond films. There's some real gems in there, some real good stuff, and not for me. The best Bond film is the one that everyone completely forgets about, and it's On Her Majesty's Secret Service.
I just watched that one. That was the
Lazenby?
last one I watched.
That's the one with
Yes.
George Lazenby.
Yep.
That's
It's
because
such a good film.
I think
It's a
because
good
it's the-
film. It's a
I-
bad Bond film.
I think it's because it's the only one he's been in.
Yeah.
I think that's why. But there was fundamentally, as a he wasn't as charismatic as either Sean Connery or Roger Moore, and that was his problem. That as a Bond film goes, it's like, I'll be honest with you, I don't particularly care for Daniel Craig. I think the character that he plays as Bond is way too serious, which is what Timothy Dalton tried to do. The Bond had a suave about him that Daniel Craig can't duplicate, and everybody except for him and Timothy Dalton could at least pull that off. And so Lazenby, he could pull it off. He was the only one he ever started, so he didn't get a chance to get his feet wet in it.
Yeah.
But also, publicly, George Lazenby didn't do the things that John Connery did. He grew out a beard in public, which you weren't really allowed to do at that time. He wouldn't do press for the film. He wouldn't promote it. He turned up with his wife, so he wasn't just the man wasn't presenting himself as the character of Bond, which Sean Connery did for so many years. So he got a lot of bad stick for that from the studios. I feel what you're talking about with Daniel Craig, the main reason that the Daniel Craig films are the way they are is the Bourne franchise. They tried to make Bond this more action orientated, and it had a negative effect. I defend the opening 15-20 minutes of Quantum of Solace. Those are very, very good action scenes. The car chase at the beginning and then the foot chase through Siena is great stuff. The problem is that film is terrible and makes no sense at all times.
Right. That's the problem. That and was it Casino Royale where the first look at Daniel Craig, he's parkour chasing this guy through the or was that
there's the black and white beginning portion where he gets his second kill. That's Quantum Assault.
No, you're right. Casino Royale does open with the foot chase through Mozambique. The parkour. It is. You are right. Yeah.
No, it does not. It does not open with that. I just watched it recently. It starts off in black and white.
It's black and white, but then it
goes to that. Yes, I know what you're talking. What he's saying. What Anchor is saying is the very first scene. He's sitting in the chair. The guy walks in, and Daniel Craig caps him.
Yeah. Don't you think I know where you hide your gun?
Right.
All that stuff.
By the way, go ahead.
But then there's that other scene where he's chasing that guy through Mozambique, and he's leaping through windows. He's basically doing what Jason Bourne did in that scene before he crashed through the window and fought the guy that was supposed to be the younger version of him. Now, I didn't mind. I mean, that was cool, and I'm like, I could get down with this. But he was so stiff otherwise. He had no charisma with the women, and that was a staple of Bond.
But there are story reasons for that, because it's him right at the beginning of his career as an agent, and also again, Daniel Craig the man didn't want to be portraying Bond in the same light as it was before. The fact when what's her name? When Vesper Lynd gets attacked by the guys, and she goes to cry in the shower. In the original shooting script, it's she takes her clothes off and she's in her bra and pants, and then she cries in the shower. And Daniel Craig insisted that no, it's more real that she's wearing her full clothes, and that kind of stuff. Yeah,
that's the problem is that's you're taking Ian Fleming and you're changing it, and I hate. There are some things you can.
They ran out of books.
Well, yeah, but I mean. But the character is the character, and the fact that it was that much of a departure, there was no reason why you couldn't have mixed them both together. And
there is a reason.
Well,
it's Austin Powers.
Well, I want to bring this up
You
before
can't-
we get too far from it. James, you brought up On Her Majesty's Secret Service, which I watched, which was amazing. But
Yep.
the part that really messed with me was Blofeld. So
Yep.
I was like, who is this guy? I've seen him from somewhere before. Like the entire time I'm watching him, it's like this is the big bad of the movie. And so the characters,
the big
the
bad
actor's
of
name is
15 movies.
Right.
yeah. Well, no. So I actually figured out where I saw him from. So the actor's name is Telly Savalas. So Telly. So
I'm sorry. This is where my age comes in.
So I figured out where I saw him. He was on one episode of Twilight Zone.
I can't
Living
believe
Doll.
that. I can't believe that is where you know Telly Savalas from.
That's the only thing I know him from.
Wow.
Oh, and I think he's in Dirty Dozen.
Yeah, and just
Yeah.
a little long running TV show called what was it? Something Kojak.
Never seen it.
Oh my
yeah.
god.
Never seen Kojak.
Oh my god.
No, like I could not figure it out. I was freaking out about it. But also other cool thing about On Her Majesty's Secret Service, the woman who plays Madeline is Lady Tyrell in Game of Thrones.
Yep.
Yeah.
Extremely close
Dame
resemblance
Diana.
to Natalie Dorner, huh?
Yeah.
Dame Diana Rigg.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So,
Yep.
but anyway, watching around, like I've the only ones I haven't seen yet. I haven't seen Timothy Dalton, and I haven't watched Pierce Brosnan as an adult to make an accurate decision about whether or not. Because when I was growing up, Pierce Brosnan was James Bond, like that.
Yeah.
So I am going to be inherently skewed towards that because that was my first time I ever saw James Bond. It's Pierce Brosnan, like it's Pierce Brosnan. It's got to be it. But yeah, so
Of the
far
of the Brosnan films, only 2 are good.
I heard
GoldenEye-
GoldenEye is good.
GoldenEye,
and-
and I like Tomorrow Never Dies.
Yeah.
I
The
did
world
too.
is not enough is awful.
Yeah.
If only
it's-
because the female character is called Christmas Jones.
Right.
I mean, it could be worse. It could be Pussy Galore.
Oh god! Like rewatching the
Mrs.
60s Bond
Goodnight.
stuff, and like
Mr.
just
Goodhead.
yeah,
It's bad.
like there's a film called Octopussy. Come on, like.
Yeah.
Which was
But
a
But
good
the one thing that you can't take away from any of the Bond films, the music's great.
Oh yeah.
music's great. Definitely.
Oh no, I admit some of them are terrible, and they've all been terrible since 2000 onwards.
All right, so this is what I wanted to actually get to. This is why I bring up Bond. I wanted to kind of ask the group here of like, who's your favorite Bond that you've seen, and who's your least favorite Bond? So I want to go kind of one by one here. I'll start with James since you're the resident Bond expert. So favorite and worst.
The best films were under when he was there, and it's Roger Moore, but he did too many. He did like 2 or 3 too many films. I'd say that he's the best Bond, and I'd say annoyingly, I'd probably say that Daniel Craig is the worst. Because Craig's had 1 good film out of 4 attempts.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Sam?
I'm still thinking. Actually, give it
Okay.
to someone else.
All right. Fast, you've been quiet. What are your thoughts?
Roger Moore is my favorite because that's mainly what I grew up on. I did watch Sean Connery ones, but mainly it was Roger Moore for me. My least favorite is was it Timothy Dalton?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean I watched those because those followed after Roger Moore, and I thought, okay, let's see. We got a new Bond. Let's see what's going on, and I was bored. And I didn't think he fit it,
Mm-hmm.
so that's why it was only 2.
All right. Mike P.
Timothy Dalton actually was never supposed to be James Bond. It was supposed to be Pierce Brosnan, but he had an American TV job.
Oh yeah, that TV series he was in.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow, didn't know that. Mike P, what are your thoughts? Bond?
I mean, never saw any of the Daniel Craig films, and I never seen Timothy Dalton. But
I understand Timothy Dalton. I understand
favorite
not seeing that.
favorite has got to be Sean Connery, just because I like Sean Connery. Least favorite probably Pierce Brosnan. I just wasn't a fan.
Mm-hmm. All right, and Stinger.
Okay.
Honestly,
Sorry, I muted my-
he's talking. Doesn't
no,
he's over there flapping his gums. I'm going, what?
I muted myself because I'm still at the back end of a cold and I didn't want to keep coughing in everybody's ear. I'm actually surprised to hear a couple people say Roger Moore because I thought I was the only one, and my mother and I fought over this a great deal. Hers was Sean Connery.
oh, of course.
Mine was Roger Moore. To me, Roger Moore, the technology at the time. Although I give a great nod to Diamonds Are Forever, because that was a fantastic film. And Bambi and Thumper, you can fantasize too. So
That's
beyond
not
that,
that's no Diamonds Are Forever. That's Doctor No.
no, it's not. Bambi and Thumper, Diamonds Are Forever.
No, I'm wrong. You're right. Beg your pardon.
Trust
He was
me.
there with Bambi and Thumper were conceived.
Trust me, I've seen that movie 1,000,000 times. And probably just that scene 1.5 million. Anyway,
Sorry, there's a very important alarm happening right now, and it needs to be addressed.
what?
There we go.
Oh, sorry. Wow, my microphone is fantastic. My mother is calling me. She actually, I think she heard me
Wow.
say Roger Moore.
How dare you say Roger Moore?
No,
I'm just
seriously,
saying, you son.
my mother was calling me. That was the alarm, and I'm thinking, wow, did she hear me? So anyway,
That's funny because my
Roger,
mom also preferred Sean Connery too.
Yeah,
but, we know why.
and you know what did it for me with Roger Moore was Moonraker. That was such a cool flick at the time. So my least favorite is probably Daniel Craig. It's for reasons that I spoke about earlier. I don't need to rehash.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and Roger Moore also because he's the only one who then made it into the Cannonball Run and played his own spy character, and that was pretty damn cool.
Yeah. For me, okay, no, with this caveat of I've only seen one Roger Moore movie at this point, and I have not rewatched Brosnan, and I have not seen Timothy Dalton yet. Right now, Lazenby is my favorite. I think he strikes a good mix of a Bond who, like, I could believe him not being Bond, because okay, the thing about Bond is like he's got to be able to like be an actual spy, like blend into the background. But like when I see Sean Connery, I see that's James Bond. Kill him. Shoot him. He looks like James Bond. When I see
James Bond shape.
like Roger Moore walks like James Bond, and so it's like this. Why seeing him walk down the street, shoot him. That's him. That's him.
They do arrest you for things like that.
Yeah, but Lazenby, like I think he does a good job of being that, charismatic guy, but also believably charismatic. I don't know how to put it necessarily, but he's better. I feel like he was better at like disguising himself, and I enjoyed the movie that he was in. I thought he did a good job, and I liked him overall as Bond. So far, the one I liked the least as Bond, it's kind of a tough call. It's kind of tied between Roger Moore and Daniel Craig right now, because Like Daniel Craig is just like I don't get any of the charisma from him, like at all. Like I don't feel that from him. Like for him, I feel like his is more like just really like brutish, like gonna beat the crap out of you kind of Bond. And that's it.
Yeah,
like he's
that's-
not
Have you
gonna
guys seen
talk to you.
Right.
Have you guys seen Daniel Craig in other films?
I've seen like one or two other things he's been in. I'm trying to
Because
remember.
like
Was
he's
it Golden
amazing.
Compass?
He's
and-
bad in that, but everyone's bad
Yeah.
in that. Like he's like great in everything he's done except the Bond films.
Yeah,
Like he's
But,
so good in Logan Lucky, the Steven Soderbergh film that came out last year.
yeah.
So
But
funny, and Leia
I
Cake
don't-
as well.
I don't like Roger Moore because, and part of it is like it felt like they walk backwards. Like, okay, if you go watch On Her Majesty's Secret Service, like they do such good editing. They make Lazenby feel like he's beating the crap out of people. Like, just go watch the first scene. Like, they cut it, and the action feels intense and fast. And it's like, oh man, like this is loud. But like, but Roger Moore, when he fights somebody, it's not interesting at all.
Yeah, because
Like, it's almost unedited.
Was more about his charisma and his
Yeah.
wits about getting around and his luck.
Yep.
And the thing of it is about Daniel Craig. What Daniel Craig brings to is about, like you said, the brutish part. He is a kick-ass, and
But that's the thing of
They
Bond.
bring
It's
their
supposed to
own-
be everything.
a little bit of everything true. And Daniel Craig is the least charismatic Bond out of all of them, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta say this Daniel Craig is more of a brutish Bond, and Roger Moore was always suave and charismatic. And I mean, he does that pretty well, but like anything other than that is not his bag. I just thought like Lazenby just did a good job of everything. Like the action scenes he's in are great. He does his role, but I think part of it is the editing. The editing really helps the most with that. But I'm trying to think what else there was. I'm gonna watch a Pierce Brosnan one tonight, just so I can get that over with.
And see, like Pierce Brosnan, him and Roger Moore were I think they were the two most charismatic as far as I don't
Yeah.
know. Well,
Yeah,
I mean, Sean Connery too.
he
I mean,
was.
those three were able to. It's like they could snap their fingers as women just drop their
Yeah.
panties.
Yeah.
You know.
and fight
Well-
for him. Like
Yeah.
he had girls that just they would go fight the enemy for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, the whole point I'm getting more towards is that if you look at how the development of Bond goes, they normally flip. Like whatever the major trait of the next one of the prior Bond, they try to go the opposite to kind of bring that market in. Like you were talking earlier, and like you said, Timothy Dalton was trying to be real,
Mhm.
and so then they went from real to Brosnan, and some of those plots are pretty wild. Like it's not they go away from that. So I think it would be interesting to see that.
Hey, we got
Again.
the best Bond game because of Pierce Brosnan, though.
Yeah. GoldenEye. So
No, the
But
best
here's-
Bond game is Everything or Nothing.
Oh my goodness, I remember that game.
Yep, it's the Bond game that's not based on any
Yep.
story, completely original.
That was an EA game, wasn't it?
I believe it was.
Oh.
It was good.
It was. I remember it. You know, here's something else about Pierce Brosnan, though. He also, because of the time in which the movies came out, he did have the luxury of some great supporting casts. You know,
Jonathan Pryce, who
Exactly,
played the
Jamar,
Game of Thrones.
and you know who else was in that movie was
John Cleese.
Terry Hatcher and Michelle Yeoh were also in that movie too. So, I mean, that was a great cast. Now, to be fair, Roger Moore had some too. I mean, you know, with Moonraker, Jack not Jack. Crap, what was his name? Halloran. Jaws, the guy who played Jaws.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's one of my favorite
guy who
villains.
plays Jaws. I'm like, shark?
See,
I don't know what you're talking about. He's in
Ivan, you
Happy
need to
Gilmore and all that stuff.
you
Yeah,
got
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You have a lot more James Bond movies to watch before you can. You might. I'm sure your deal will change
Yeah.
as far as your best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
what
know,
is-
because the plan is okay. So I'm watching these with my girlfriend, who's never seen any Bond movies. She's never seen any of them. So before we started watching, watch like 3 Connery movies or anything like that, we're watching one of each to start. And so we started with we did Goldfinger for her, for Sean Connery, on Her Majesty's Secret Service. We're gonna do The Spy Who Loved Me next.
Oh, that's good. That's
Yeah,
good.
we figured that we figured based on ratings that would be the best Roger Moore one to show.
Maybe. You know what? I take two other recommendations. You got it. I think Moonraker is one, and believe it or not, I think it was his. I can't remember if it was his last one or not. A View to a Kill.
Yeah.
Had
Christopher Walken.
Christopher Walken and Grace Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Grace Jones does not do the song for that film.
the idea is we're gonna watch one of each, and we see which one we like, and we'll watch the rest of those.
Okay.
So the idea is not to like have a predisposition towards one or the other based on I watched more of these. Then we're gonna watch Goldeneye for. Well, we're gonna watching what's the other one that Timothy Dalton did? The first one he did.
License to Kill.
Yeah.
No, I thought License to Kill was the second
The Living
one.
Daylights. The Living Daylights.
Living Daylights. We're gonna watch Living Daylights for Timothy Dalton, and we're gonna watch Goldeneye for Brosnan, Casino Royale for Craig. So, anyway, watch those. So, like during the movies, like every time there's a card game, which is a lot, we're going over like this is how you play blackjack. This is how you play 5-card stud. This is Texas Hold'em. Like,
Allow myself to introduce myself.
In the world is not enough. They go to like this private members club, and they don't play a card game. They just play. We'll just bet on the highest card that we pull out. Like they don't even bother with a card game. It's just I still can't believe that was a genuine scene that lasted like 10 minutes. It was unbelievable.
I mean, come on! At one point in one of the movies, I can't remember which one, they're playing like real life Battleship, where it shocks them.
Oh yeah.
Wild.
Which
wild
movie
stuff.
was that?
It doesn't matter.
Now, to be fair, I have not seen Skyfall or Spectre yet.
Me neither.
Okay.
I have not watched the other Daniel Craig ones.
I will wait till next week because I have so much to say about Spectre and how it is one of the worst things to ever happen to British cinema.
All right, then never mind. I didn't.
Skyfall has its moments, but it is so stuck in trying to be an old-timey James Bond film that it fails to be anything new. Like,
I might be. I might be okay with that.
I'm going to be honest, though. That's why I liked Skyfall. I appreciated what they were doing with it. I appreciated what they were.
Okay.
By the way,
sorry, go ahead, Ivan.
I was to say you didn't get to say who your Bonds were.
Oh yeah,
sneaking away.
Just not being asked.
We asked you first.
So for
you
me,
said I don't know yet.
So for me, it would probably have to be Sean Connery. The fact is, when I think James Bond, I think Sean Connery instantly. That's his performance left a mark. For the worst, I would say Timothy Dalton.
It's bizarre that the most English character that's ever been created has been played by more non-English people than English
Right?
people.
Well, it's bizarre that we have so many people playing an American character like Spider-Man by British people.
Yeah,
So-
Superman as well.
Yeah.
And I mean, people made a big deal about the fact that Daniel Craig was going to be the first true Englishman to play James Bond.
What, Roger?
Roger Moore was not. I thought that Roger Moore was from somewhere else.
No, he's pretty English.
Yeah.
Crazy true English. Is he Johnny English?
Because there was something about Roger Moore because that I mean I specifically remember maybe the people here in the U.S. media just didn't have it right. I mean they touted it as, you know, he would be one of the first folks from Great Britain to actually be Bond, and I took it at its word because I mean, you know, obviously, you know, Welsh and Scottish and all that stuff. I thought Roger Moore was English, and then I heard that, and I'm like, all right, well, maybe he's from like South Wales, and we just don't know it. So
Wales is part of Great Britain. Just so we all know, just so we're all clear.
Never been
all
there.
of the Bonds have been from Great Britain, apart from Pierce Brosnan, who is Irish, and George Lazenby, who is Australian. But I remember the big controversy about Daniel Craig was that he's blonde. They can't have a blonde James Bond. That'd be crazy.
But wasn't James Bond in the book blonde?
James Bond in the book, I don't think has a specific description. If he is, he's definitely got black hair. But
Yeah,
I actually can't right now. Can't think.
I thought Daniel Craig's character was more based off the book. You know. I have to go back and look at that.
Well, right, because if I remember correctly, wasn't Casino Royale?
Casino Royale is canonically the first book.
Yeah.
Right.
It was the first James Bond book released, as I'm pretty sure that's correct.
Yeah. You know, especially him losing his love interest.
All right, the James Bond description. The James Bond. This is specifically from Russia with Love. The physical description is really consistent. Slim build, 3-inch long, thin vertical scar on right cheek, blue-gray eyes, a, quote, cruel mouth, short black hair.
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is interesting because, like, who was the first Bond actor who actually had blue eyes? I know it wasn't Sean Connery, and I know it wasn't.
Right.
Well,
it might have been Craig.
It might have been Craig.
Yeah. So now remember, Casino Royale was actually David Niven in 1967.
This is true.
Oh God, yeah.
Yes.
It was
kind of a parody. It was kind of a parody movie. It was kind of loosely based on the book.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, in Ivan, in the Bond things that are on Netflix, is Never Say Never Again there?
I don't believe so. It's only the official Bond movies.
That is the black sheep. It is because it's based on Thunderball. They just remade Thunderball.
Yeah.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Because they didn't.
What was the movie?
Never Say Never Again. That's why it's the only Bond film that doesn't start with him walking with the gun barrel and shooting. Because it's not part of the Bond MGM films.
Huh.
There's a whole rights issue. It's actually quite interesting. I can't remember all of it right now, but it is quite interesting looking into. But the most important question for everyone here before we go, because it's 1:30, what's everyone's favorite Bond song?
Bond song?
Yeah. The Bond theme song.
I'd have to listen to him again.
Yeah.
Goldfinger's one that always gets stuck in my head.
That's a really good one. A View to a Kill, because I really like Duran Duran.
Duran Duran, yeah.
Oh,
that was mine too.
Diamonds Are Forever has a pretty decent one, in my opinion. That one's
What
good.
if I told you Johnny English and James Bond were in the same movie?
Oh, they are.
They are.
Because he is in he's in Never Say Never Again.
Yeah, I'm looking at a picture like, damn.
Yeah, as is Jeff Goldblum in that film as well.
Oh, jeez.
So it's Kim Basinger. Oh my goodness! Hold on, Kim Basinger, Max von Sydow's in that movie.
Yep.
So it says based on Thunderball. Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna wrap things up here.
Real quick, the next James Bond movie, is it Daniel Craig again, or are they having a new?
It's his last one.
It's his last one.
Because he hates being James Bond.
Okay.
Eat the money.
The one person that I would like to see James Bond is Tom Hiddleston.
Ooh.
That's a good
The
point.
thing is, you've already seen it. If you watch a TV show called The Night Manager, you'll see the best James Bond that he'll ever do. It's a miniseries with Hugh Laurie as the villain. And, like it's really good, and he's very good in it. And he plays a British spy, and it's the Night Manager. It's very good. Olivia Colman's in it as well, who just won the Oscar.
Tom Hiddleston would look like a good Bond. I could see that.
Yeah.
But
I want someone like a 22-year-old unknown.
Yeah, I want Taron Egerton.
Yeah.
I want Taron Egerton to do it. Yes.
No.
Yes.
You can't be funny James Bond and real James Bond. You're not allowed.
No, I think you can.
Nah.
I think you can, sir.
He hasn't done a good dramatic film yet.
Hey. Eddie the Eagle was pretty good. I like that.
Yeah. Dramatic. Feels pretty funny.
Oh well, I mean, being picky, sir. You're being picky.
Give me your quick thoughts about because I like them for what they are, and I like Rowan Atkinson, the upcoming third Johnny English movie.
What do you mean upcoming? It came out 6 months ago.
Did it already come out?
It came out in Britain 6 months ago.
All right, hang on, because I thought maybe I missed it already.
I love the first Johnny English, but I was like 7 when it came out, so I was like the perfect age to enjoy it. I think it is very silly, but I do enjoy the first one and bits of the second one, which also features Daniel Kaluuya from Get Out and Black Mirror. Weirdly enough, he pops up as his assistant. Johnny English is sort of part of the reason why no one can really take Bond seriously anymore. It's too good of a parody.
It is. But I really like what Rowan Atkinson did with that character too.
Rowan Atkinson is funny just walking down the street.
Yes.
Yep. Agreed.
Like he's brilliantly. There's no one funnier than him. Like without saying a word.
Oh yeah.
No. His performance at the last, I think it was opening Summer Olympics was
brilliant.
Absolutely brilliant. And it was exactly he can, with the exception of Johnny English, he plays like that. He's got that same Mr. Bean kind of thing, and he can do it in so many different styles. You don't realize it's kind of typecast.
I mean, he is like arguably the most. Him and John Cleese have a good claim to be the funniest people ever that Britain have produced. Like he famously did a stand-up set for, I want to say, like 15 minutes. And all the noises he made, he did out like a whole story, and all he went was like I've seen videos of it, and I just can't believe that it exists. I assume you've all seen Blackadder, then.
Yes. Oh my God, love Blackadder.
Cool.
Oh my God, that like by far, I like every single season except for the second one as much as the rest. The second one's my least favorite, but it's all really close. Like,
yeah. If anyone here doesn't know what we're talking about, Blackadder is a historical comedy starring like the best British people ever, like Hugh Laurie, Rowan Atkinson, Stephen Fry, Tim McInnery.
Wow.
Who else? There's other people.
Who does Baldrick?
His name is Tony Robinson.
But Tony Robinson.
He's only really famous here, and for Blackadder. And
he's just a director, right? Tony Robinson got into directing.
Don't think so.
Let me check real quick.
Anyway, but like every single season of Blackadder takes place in a different historical period of Britain. So like Queen Elizabeth, Henry VII. What other ones? Like the Regency era in the 1700s. But the one that I recommend to everyone is it's set in the First World War in the trenches, like in the most pointless.
Oh my God, it's so funny.
Time. And it's gallows humor. It's dark stuff. And the final episode is one of the most brilliantly British things that has ever existed. Because like
it is by far hilarious.
Yeah, it's so funny. And like, how did the First World War start? And like, they all sort of face their own mortality, but it's brilliant. I highly Blackadder. Everyone watch it.
All right.
Okay.
If you know what, watch the episode. It's called Private Plane. It's in Blackadder Goes Forth, which is the First World War series.
What was it, the 40-minuters?
Yep, the 20-minuters.
20 minutes. I really want that whole box series, like for Christmas or my birthday.
That actor who played Captain Flashheart was supposed to play Peeves in the Harry Potter films before they cut him from the film.
Oh wow!
Yeah, that guy's a guy called Rick Mail. I could do a whole hour on like weird British comedians from the 80s and 90s. I would happily do it one time, but I think we've gone on far enough today.
We gotta wrap things up here. First, I want to thank all the Next Level Gaming guys for coming out. Thanks, Chris. Thanks, Mike, for showing up tonight. Really,
all the great gaming we talked about. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is, you know how it is. This time of year is all rumor
no
season.
gaming news happens.
It's all rumor stuff. So it's like it's hard to be excited about that until things happen.
Oh wait. We'll do one piece of news right now. EA aren't going to be at E3. There you go. Happy?
Gee, breaking news.
Yeah. Anyway, so moving on, we are going to do our outros for now. Let's get our regulars out of here. Mike P. the Truth, where can the good people find you?
All right,
You
guys.
gotta go to sleep.
Whatever, Mike. Mike's number 47, 74, whatever you are. Anyway, you guys can find me on pretty much everywhere at Mike P. the Truth, Twitter at The Truth of Mike P. And remember, there are 3 E's in delete. They stand for educate, entertain, and enlighten. You, mi amigos, have just experienced the entire trio. Yes.
You need to work on it. You need to work on that impression, son.
He's tired. Give him a break. he hasn't. He used to collect his Social Security next.
Oh my! See, now it's not even me now.
All right.
Is Matt still wrestling, or is he injured again? Or
No, he's actually back with Jeff and the Hardy Boys now. They're wrestling on SmackDown.
All right, James.
The people can get me on the tweets at James_S Wilson. And now, since I've got a public forum, I'm just going to pick up this little pipe bomb here that's next to me. I have on Twitter called out Mr. Peter Truth for a challenge. He has picked it up, but he's deflected because he's afraid of because he knows what's going to happen. So I'm officially like live. Michael, this is the challenge. You and I both have Nintendo Switches. I am ready. Name the game, and I will defeat you at it.
You have Smash?
I do have Smash.
All right, let's do it.
There we go. That wasn't so hard, was it?
No, it wasn't. I did not realize you had a Switch, so yeah, Smash.
Well, then maybe you should read Twitter messages a bit better.
All right.
What?
Well, Sam had to leave, so I'll do his outro for him. You can find him at Samuel Tolbert on Twitter. You can find him at Direwolf484 on Xbox and PlayStation. You can check him out there. So, do some of our stuff here. Let's do Fastback, sir. Where can the good people find you?
You can find me on Twitter and Xbox and PlayStation under Fastback6768. You can also find me every Friday on the OG NLG show on Twitch with my buddy co-host Agent 47 and normally every 2 weeks, at least once a month, WDFC will be on the NOG YouTube channel. So keep an eye out for that.
All right. And Stinger, where can people find you?
all right. So you guys can all find me pretty much Twitter and Xbox. You can find me at Stinger NLG. On PlayStation, it is the original NLG. You can find us on OG_NL Gaming on Twitch and on YouTube. The original Next Level Gaming. You actually search NL Gaming, we do come up first, so you can find us there with a quick search as well. I know. And you can find our WDFC brothers there as well, as they do some great gameplay streaming and some other fun stuff. And then we have our show Friday nights where we just have a good time. So I want to thank you guys for being on Friday night with us, those of you who could, and hopefully we'll do that again soon.
All right. So also, last little bit of trivia thing. Apparently, every single Bond appearance by Sean Connery was him wearing a toupee.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't know that. I was like, oh, sorry, Sean. I didn't know. I feel bad for you.
I mean, most men lose their hair. There you go.
Yeah, but he was in his 20s, his early 20s.
That's the time that most men start losing their hair.
That's weird.
He still got on the cover of magazine for Most Sexiest Man, right? Didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Hair or no hair.
Yeah.
Dude, he's still a man's man. I don't care what you say.
He's your mom's man.
This is true too.
So, all right, guys, we're gonna wrap things up here. You can find me at Anchorman V2 on Xbox, PlayStation, wherever. Thank you guys for tuning in to the greatest show on Mondays, and we are out of here, gentlemen. Thank you very much.